feeling bad, sick, and tired of what hip-hop is talking about? Are you in need of something? Well, don't worry. It's DJ I Rock Jesus with that prescription.
Gotta tell them how it is. Yeah.
Just be calling me, man. I just gotta go to it. Need help, man.
If you ever went in front and felt you couldn't be yourself, it go mask on, take the mask off. I'ma keep it 100, refuse to box in myself, it go mask on, take the mask off. 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 Mask on, take the mask off.
I don't talk about race, I don't own one. And I talk about truth, cause I know some. And I don't brag about having the new whatevers. So the week later, it's the old one. You throwing hundreds on the road, stunting. All these hundreds, you can't fold nothing. I ain't hating, homie, get it how you live, but I'm broke, let me hold something.
Too.
Yes, she is.
She hadn't made her way though, but hey everybody.
That's all right. She on the
She better be on the list.
She on the schedule.
I love it. Schedule.
She's on the schedule.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. There we go. Awesome. All right. So did I share this? I can't. It's telling me to select friends. Why can't I just automatically share like I used to?
I don't know. I shared
weird.
mine.
Why can I?
What up, Jay Will?
Jay Will, what's up?
You coming through tonight, Jay Will?
Yeah, like seriously, it's only letting me invite friends. That's so weird. Okie. Guys, make sure you're sharing this video out. We have an amazing guest this week.
That's right.
In the studio with us. And we made a surprise discovery. How about that?
Yeah. It's a lot of stop the silence out here. And I know this first one definitely is not it. It's
so this is what we do.
The little rainbow.
Stop.
No, Freethinkers Radio.
Cease to happen.
Type in Freethinkers
Denoting
Radio.
one or more popular things already mentioned or assumed. Silence. Complete absence of sound. Stop the silence. Stop the silence.
Yeah, that sinus infection tried to make me silent, but the devil,
is
is
a
a liar.
liar.
I'm talking and I'm able. And
you're
I
here.
am here.
Yes, I'm so glad you're back.
Ebony Dixon, the baby jumper. We give a voice to your written words here on Stop the Silence.
And I'm Tamika Sims, the Ink Pen Diva, your co-host.
She's looking up in the air like, do I want to be Tamika today?
I do. I love being myself, right?
That's great.
I'm excited about our guest.
Listen, me too. I mean, this is just so out of the box. It's very unique and
it's different for us.
It
too.
is.
Yeah.
It is.
He's
This
the first one?
The first comedian on
love it.
Stop the Silence.
I love it.
Mr. Mike Goodwin.
What up? What up?
Bowtie Comedy.
Bowtie comedian.
Hello, sir.
Greetings.
Greetings, sir. It's so nice to see you again.
It's very happy to be amongst you, the peoples here at the free.
I feel like he switched accents.
Yeah, he kind of. He was a
He
little.
went Jamaican?
Yeah, he was a little everything. Just
Yeah, it's a little South African.
Yeah, little everything there. Yeah.
Awesome.
my
How
people.
are you?
I'm doing well.
That's
doing
good.
well.
That's good.
That's
Good,
wonderful.
Yeah.
So for anybody who does not know who you are,
Right.
could you please introduce yourself to the audience?
Right. My name is Mike Goodwin, comedian extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
That's time to speak it.
You can go to comedianmikegoodwin.com to see all of my achievements and schedule. But I do clean comedy. I'm Christian comedy, gospel comedy, clean comedian. I do comedy that's kingdom oriented.
Right.
And I am a father, and I'm a husband, and I'm a son. We didn't realize it, or I knew it, but the baby jumper didn't know.
The baby jumper did not know.
She didn't know my baby.
Listen, I did not know that was your daughter.
Yes. Gabrielle Goodwin of Gabby Bows.
Gabby Bowes, y'all. How many
Shout
times
out.
did you vote for her? I voted like 12 times, and I did not know that was her daddy.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, that's so wonderful.
That's my offspring.
That is your offspring, entrepreneur style.
He said I did that.
You did that? All right.
Entrepreneur style.
That's all right. So what you got going on? What's going on with you?
Awesome.
I'm just here with y'all enjoying. I'm about to go to Germany.
Word?
On
What you going to
Wednesday
Germany
for a USO tour. So we're going to do 5 U.S. Army bases, I believe.
Oh, wow. That's awesome.
We're going to be there from the 21st to the 27th.
Okay. Do you know what part of Germany that you're going to?
Yeah, I know the cities, but I can't pronunciate them.
Right.
Outside of Frankfurt, I don't.
That's about it.
All right, that's all I got.
Right. Cool.
So how did you get your start into comedy? How did you know that would sort of be your creative outlet?
I didn't know. I got another comedian, Akintunde, that people know. Mm-hmm. We were serving together on the media ministry at our church, and he was like, "Dude, you funny. You need to get on stage." I was like, "Oh, okay."
You just took his word for it.
Right. Well, he said, he basically was like, "You have some funny stuff. Either I can get on stage and do this stuff and get paid,
Right.
or you can get on stage and do this stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to give you the money, the stuff that you did."
Right.
So I felt like if he thought it was that funny, I
Yeah.
would give it a shot. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So your first time doing the stand-up comedy was at church?
Yeah, at Right Direction Christian Center. I did a New Year's Eve
Oh, cool.
service, a watch night service, and it was like movie Hollywood type experience.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because I was a surprise guest.
Right.
I went up, I did about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Standing ovation.
Wow.
Wow.
First time out. Awesome.
How did that make you feel?
It made me feel like I was funnier than I was.
You didn't know you had it in you.
Right.
It was far more, because after that, I bombed for the next 2 years. I sucked.
For the
Terribly.
next 2 years.
For 2 years, I
But look at you now. You kept pressing.
went through the wilderness. Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yes.
Kept on moving.
Did anyone ever tell you in your family when you were younger that you were funny?
Well, I've been funny, like, but in my head, I didn't think I had the ability to do stand up. Like, I was funny on in a situation if I knew someone,
Right.
but just to get up and start talking funny, I think that's a different skill set that I didn't really feel like I had at the time.
Right. I totally agree with that because a lot of people say I miss my call, and I'm like, well, I'm still alive. Like,
Right.
if I miss something, I'm still alive to be able to
You
do
can
it.
still do it.
I look at it like this, because there's a lot of people that are funny. It's a lot of
Right,
funny
right, right.
people, and just because you're funny doesn't mean you need to be a comedian. It's
That
like
is
it's
absolutely
like people
where
that know how
I'm
to
going.
cook.
Yes.
Right.
Just because you know how to cook,
No, I mean, you need
don't
to
need
open
to
up a
open a restaurant.
Right.
Just cook at your house, feed
Right.
your family, and let
Right.
people enjoy you.
Right.
You ain't got to go start menus and business cards and getting licensing. Just cook at the crib.
Right. And that's exactly where I was going with that because I'm like, listen, I mean, in general conversation, we can have some jokes, but I'm just going to stick to poetry.
See how fast that was?
Pew. Love you too, Jay Will.
Love you too,
So
Jay
people
Will.
talking. What's going on here?
People talking. So Ronnie's checking in.
You are beautiful.
Oh,
Aaron.
who said that?
George.
Hey, Kevin.
George did.
Who said? What was that?
You are funny.
Look at that.
What is happening?
You are kind.
The poetry is going forth.
You are unique. You are worthy
I was like,
of
God.
love and affection.
He does speak.
He's just confirming. He's always confirming. As you walk along in your journey, he's always confirming.
I was like, really?
Yeah.
I need to hear
You are
that.
precious. You are a diamond,
Oh my
a
goodness.
rose, a pearl, the most stunning of all God's creation. You are worth more
Yeah.
than you could ever imagine. Worth
Hey
more
guys,
than the
thanks for
numbers on
tuning
the
in. Hey
scale,
Kevin. Hey
or the hair
Darren.
product you use,
I think
or
I've
the
spoken to
shoes you
everybody
wear.
else.
More than how many girls wish they were you, or how
Thank
many
you so much
guys
for
wish
sharing
they
the
had
video
you. More
out
than the
and
price
sharing
tags
us
on
with your
clothes, or the
social
percentage
media
at the top of
audience,
your
letting the
math
people
test,
know that
or
we are
even the
live
number
on
of
Stop the
followers you have on
Silence.
Twitter. Your worth surpasses all earthly things, because in the eyes of the Lord God, you are loved, and you are worth dying for.
Phone down. Mike.
No, the volume.
Regardless of who you think you are. Whether you model in a magazine or you model pottery with grandma. Whether you're on the hot list or the not list, whether you're head cheerleader or a high school dropout, whether you're Miss Popular or you've never had anyone you could call a friend, whether you love yourself and love your life, or you can't stand to look in the mirror and you feel as if everything in your life.
Thank you all
is
for
falling
joining
apart,
in
whether
on
you're
Facebook
such a
Live.
winner, or you feel like the world's
Feel free to
biggest
share
failure,
this
regardless of who you
podcast,
think you are.
this
The
live
reality is
showing
that you
of
deserve
us talking
someone who
to
would give up
comedian
their
Mike
life
Goodwin.
Extraordinaire. You gotta say
Extraordinaire.
comedian
I'm so sorry.
extraordinaire.
Gabby Bo's daddy, okay?
I just did that today.
So y'all just keep tuning in and sharing. Thank you, Sierra. Sierra, you're so helpful. We gotta
Sierra,
put you
you're
to work.
amazing.
Yeah, like you just, I don't know. I just want to throw a party for you or something.
She's like the guest of the decade.
She is.
She's so amazing. She's been like that since day one.
Yeah, yeah.
I love
This is who you are.
Hey,
And
Mika
any
Money.
voices in your mind that try and tell you differently are from the enemy. And the next time you hear them, this is what you say. You say, "Nuh-uh, not me, Satan. I am a daughter of the living God, cherished,
Or son.
loved,
I can't-
and adored above all things by
People.
the Creator of all things, for the glory of Him who is greater than all things. I am awesome."
Hey,
Hey,
Lakeisha.
Dave.
And please, don't you forget it.
And that was Who You Are by John Jorgensen.
That was nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
John be doing his thing. Y'all should look him up on YouTube. I'm not sure exactly where he's from, but he has a lot of stuff out there.
Yeah.
That's dope.
So let me go back to a point that you were making before we went to commercial break.
Right.
You talked about, you said just because you're funny, it doesn't mean that, you know, you should be on stage, or just because you're a great cook doesn't mean that you should be a chef opening a restaurant. But how do you know when you have it? How do you know when you have that certain star quality, quote unquote, that gets you the opportunities to be on stages and to travel doing the thing that you love?
That's a great question. I think you know if you get in front of an audience.
Okay.
If you keep getting in front of an audience,
Right.
there needs to be something in you that when you don't do well,
Right.
you want to come back and do it again.
Got it.
Like a lot of people are like, man, I want to do comedy. Get on stage
Right.
and don't do well, and that'll help you not want to do comedy anymore if you truly don't want to do comedy.
Yeah.
But when you don't do well
That's good.
and you got to stand there and watch people walk by you at the end of the night and be looking at you like,
I didn't get anything out
or
of those
just
jokes.
to like hug the other person. Oh, you crazy. You funny.
And then pat you on the back like,
All right, little fella. Keep your day job. Don't quit.
Wow.
So I mean it really brings humility to you in terms of and in terms of developing the craft of comedy. See, when I first got started, it was a hobby.
Right.
I didn't recognize
Right.
that it was a craft that I had to hone.
Right.
And so until I began to take it seriously, then I was like, oh, I can improve. I can get
Yeah.
better. So
Yeah.
So how much writing is involved in writing jokes?
there's a lot of writing, far more, so it's a combination because everybody has a different process. So some people have like their set, like they know what they're going to say is scripted, is written out. Some people work on the idea, like, okay, this is what's bothering me. This is what I'm thinking about. Let me say it on stage and kind of work it through.
Right.
And so when you first get started, people say, okay, you got to write down all your jokes. And that just doesn't work for everyone. Some people are storytellers. Some people are kind of more impromptu in the room. They're kind of feeling the audience. But for me, my comedy is all about writing, because in those 2 years when I wasn't really funny, it wasn't that my material wasn't funny, it was my delivery. So
Right.
Delivery is important.
I was just a robot on stage. Matter of fact, I wasn't even talking to the audience. I just was so enamored with me. I was just like, ooh, I got a nice suit. Look at my bow tie. And the people was like, who's this clown on stage just kind of prancing around? I was just kind of like a little show pony. I was
Trotting across
trotting
the stage.
around. What's the little pony from Animal Farm? I just saw Animal Farm. Marley, I think it was the little pony. I don't know if people. What?
Yeah, I don't.
we don't know.
Yeah, I don't.
Way over there. I was trotting around like little Marley. I wanted sugar cubes. That's all I wanted.
Sugar cube.
That's what you feed the horses.
Oh, okay. Honey, I don't listen.
Yeah, it's okay. It's
I got
okay.
a grown child. I don't. Yeah.
Right.
So what do you do? What is your process on honing your craft?
Right.
So first, you gotta have a book. handy dandy guide.
Is that like a journal type book?
Yeah, like one of these.
Okay.
When ideas come, I just jot them down because ideas don't come fully formed. I don't know how you get your poetry,
Sure.
but I may get aligned.
Right.
I may
Right.
get a punchline, so I gotta figure out there's something there.
Right.
So sometimes the joke comes full, like, oh, that's a funny joke all the way
Right.
through. But most times it's just a premise, an idea. Because really the way that the joke is set up, you have a premise, a punchline, and a tag.
Right.
So the premise is basically setting up the joke.
Okay.
The punchline is what you say when people are supposed to laugh. And then the tag is, think of a joke like a balloon. So the tag just keeps the balloon in the air. So it kind of keep hitting and knocking it,
Right.
knocking them. So what happens is when I first got started, I had too many premises. So I was just like, hey, have you ever been at church sitting next to somebody and they had stinky breath? So, I mean, it's like,
Get to the
you can't get that a little faster than that.
Right.
And I was doing all that. Man, I'm from Camden, South Carolina.
Oh,
on
Lord.
1318 Old River Road. We were fifth house on the corner. And we had a little dog. And they're like, man, what is he talking about?
Where is he going with this? Like, what's his?
And so by the time you get to a punch, people, they clocked out. They on their phone. You know, it's just not funny. Or if you've made me wait that long,
right.
the punch better be outstanding.
Right. I better be on the floor.
You're going to do
like,
all this.
can't
Oh,
breathe.
yeah, I was the fifth. I graduated fifth in my class. And what are you talking about?
Nothing. You're just filling space, really. 'cause
Exactly. So that's what saved me. I had good material. So I'm a writer. Like I'm always writing. My goal is to write 5 jokes a day. I typically try to meet that. And then from there, you got to get on stage. You got to go to open mics.
right.
Or what I was doing horribly when I first got started, I would drive to the venue and I would think about all the stuff that I thought was funny. Had never done it before, had never tried it. And I'd get right on stage and do 5 minutes of stuff I thought about in the car.
Oh, yeah.
The problem with that is I'm the only one who heard this stuff.
Right.
And I'm not sitting in the audience. So
right.
the people in the audience have a different sense of humor than I. My sense of humor is a little weird. So I launch off into this brand new stuff and nobody's responding. So by the time I get my like tried and true material,
Yeah.
that would have been A stuff if I started it with. Now it's a B because we don't believe you anymore. Like, hey, dude, you was not funny for 5 minutes. Now, where you get all this great stuff
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
So I had to learn that you protect your new material by putting a strong bit first, then your new stuff, and then a strong bit behind. So if this doesn't work, you still are getting laughs on either side of the jokes.
Gotcha.
Beans.
It's my turn.
Michi.
So we'll move through this really quickly because I want to get back to the conversation. But so tonight I'm giving you 3 tips. Now that you've written the book, you've published the book, but you have not made your first sale, right? So 3 ways on how you can make your first sale. So the first is to make sure that you have clearly identified your target audience, right? If you've clearly identified your target audience, if you know who your ideal reader is, like even to the point of visualizing what he or she looks like, you know that your material will speak directly to them, right? And once the book is published, you will have no problem making the sale because it's exactly what they need in their life for where they are in the moment. So that's first. Second is make sure that you are speaking their language. Again, going back to the target audience, which means you know so much about them that you know how they expect to receive information. You know how you need to post to them on Facebook, what you need to share exactly on Instagram, Pinterest, or Twitter, or wherever you can find them. And then finally, it's just simply to don't quit. Right? To be consistent and to just know that in your hard work and in your diligent efforts and in your dedication to them, that the sales will ultimately come.
Thank
3
you.
tips. If you have not made your first sale,
Thank you for
make sure
that.
that you're following those 3 things.
I was so wrong. I was all in her yellow. We're supposed to be in different colors. And I was in the yellow. So
It's quite all right.
That was very,
It's
very
all
good catch.
talking.
It's all
Very
talking.
wonderful catch. 'Cause
It's all talking.
we were way into the yellow. I was
It's
like,
all
oops.
good.
It's
Whoops.
okay.
It's all
You were
good.
saying
It's
something
all
very
good.
valuable that
Yeah.
someone needed to hear. And that just summed up that book situation there. I wanted to ask you, like, okay, you said for 2 years you were bombing.
Terrible.
How did what made you come out of the wilderness?
First, I started talking to the audience. I wasn't talking to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just was up there kind of.
Did you know to do that, or did someone pull you to the side and be like, "Hey"?
It was God. It was like, look, dude, you real prideful. I mean, it got to the point where I was like, I would have good shows
Yeah.
in between the 2 years, but I wasn't consistent. So I was
Right.
like, man, what's going on?
Right.
And I mean, he really dealt with me about my pride. Like,
Wow.
like, dude, you're not talking to the audience.
Right. Right.
You up here for you.
Right. Right.
I didn't look at people. I looked over their heads. I mean, people know.
Right.
Yeah.
They know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like, and I used to look at the audience like, oh, let me dumb it down. Like, the audience is way more smarter than me. So if I'm up here thinking I'm just brainiac, like, dude, you're missing the point.
Yeah.
So,
So engagement is key.
right. So I started I had to talk to the audience. I wasn't talking to them. I was talking at them.
Right. Right.
So I wasn't in the room. I just was kind of. I could have been doing that in a parking lot somewhere. I just could have been just up there,
Right.
just prancing. I don't have the words in my head. For some reason.
What's the horse's name?
But
Prancing.
sugar, well, sugar, no, it wasn't
The
sugar.
sugar. It wasn't sugar cubes.
You feed them sugar.
Oh, you feed them sugar.
Hopefully you don't have sugar cubes in your bloodstream. That's not.
I can't. Okay.
But yeah, I started talking to the audience
Right.
first.
Right.
Then I started working on my delivery.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, because one thing you do when you first start, you talk too fast. Just
Right, because you're nervous.
You're
You're trying to get it.
You're trying to get the material out.
Yeah.
Oh man, let me see that. And so you got to allow people to laugh.
Right.
You know, so you say something, they got to think about it.
Yeah.
You know, then they laugh. So you just pause and you take your time. So what we call it in comedy is you talking over your laughs. You know, stepping on your laughter.
Right.
So instead of stepping on your laughter, just let your laughter flow out. Say something. Take a drink of water. You
Right.
pause.
Right. Right.
And it's like you're having a conversation. When you're having a conversation
Right.
with somebody, hey, how you doing? Your mom doing good, man? I saw you probably yesterday, man, good to see you. Boy, I really like that dress. You don't talk to people like that.
Right. And they probably looking like, what in the world?
Right.
Slow down.
Right.
I was just at a graduation in Valley Victoria. He did that. He came out, oh, man, we had a great 2017 team. And I was looking at my daughter like, you see that? That's
Yeah. Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
That's
Yeah.
not the way
She gonna have to talk.
Yeah,
next
she
time.
yeah,
Oh
she
gosh,
talks to
she's
people.
amazing.
Yeah, she's talking.
So do you usually like try out your jokes before you actually go on stage with them?
I don't.
You don't?
I used to try with my wife. So this is what my wife would do. I would tell her a joke, and she'd be like, that's funny. And that hurts your heart.
Oh.
If something's funny,
Laugh.
That's
Right.
I think that's the appropriate response.
Right.
Laughter.
Right.
Oh, that's good. That's good. No. I need some ha 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 hee 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 hee
Something.
ha. Oh boy, you crazy nut. Oh, that's good. Yeah. So I just stopped doing that because that just hurts my feelings.
Oh.
I may, with social media now, you may throw it on Twitter or on
Yeah.
Facebook. You may put it in a post,
Yeah.
And see how it goes. Even some of the videos I do, I may try to put it out there and people respond to it. Like, oh, sometimes people respond to things like, oh, I might need to do something with that.
Right.
There was a bigger response than I thought.
All right. Right.
And the other thing is you don't know what material is going to work. There's
Right.
certain material that I feel like, oh man, I love this, but then they laugh at that, and it's like, okay, well, I will go with the audience say.
Right.
Okay,
Right.
Hey, y'all are the judge and the jury, so I'm going with what y'all say.
Okay.
So do you do more writing yourself, or do you bring in ghostwriters, or is it a mixture? Do you get folks to submit material to you?
It's all me.
Okay.
What we do in the community, I have other comedians. I'm like, hey man, I'm
Sure,
working on this bit. Here's the premise, and then they may say, do this, do that, but there's no formal
Gotcha.
type of thing. I've written for other comedians, like I've wrote, they bought my material, that type of thing. But I probably 99% of my stuff is mine, unless another comedian says, hey man, use this line, or when you say that, say this, that type of thing. But
And now you also mentioned that a lot of your is church. We'll come back with that.
right.
You were so awesome because I never look at that.
I know. I'm like, don't. You're about to go down a rabbit hole.
Right up
I'm
on
gonna have to pick it up if I remember.
Oh my goodness.
Honey, unafraid.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. How you all get together and do stuff. Do y'all like meet up? Like,
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes. Or you just call it, I'll call somebody that's like, hey man, I got this idea. matter of fact, I was working on this joke and I ran it by Corey, and I was like, "Hey man, I got this idea." And he gave me a line that's like, that's the missing piece.
Yeah.
So you get.
So you feed off of each other.
Yeah, and it's hard because you want to be with like-minded
Right.
folks. So you can't be with folks that are way up ahead of you and just say this. It's like, no. You used to your room being full of people that know you.
Right.
I'm not in a room full of people that know me. So the other thing too, the comedians will be like, oh, that's the funniest. Oh my, boy, you gonna kill him. But they looking at it from just the concept of they not they not thinking about the audience. They just like, oh, I wish I would have wrote that. And then you think you got this great joke and you say it and people like, huh? I'm like, he almost wrecked this car when I was telling them this. So you got to really balance like, okay, this is good, but it ain't about to destroy. Oh, you about to kill the room with that one. Oh.
That's so cool how you have different layers to this thing. Like, I mean, it's just like with anything else, but we just expect people that are funny just to be funny and
walk up on stage. Like, people don't think you have an act.
Right. Like you don't put any work into it. There's
hey guys. It's like, no man.
Yeah.
This is an act. This is a routine.
Right.
And I would imagine people expect you to be funny all the time.
Oh yeah.
Like every time they see you, they like, you're right.
Say something funny.
Right.
I hate telling people I'm a comedian.
Right.
I'm really like nervous when I meet people.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Please don't ask me what I do. I don't want to lie.
Yeah. That's what they do though.
I work at the zoo.
Oh. Do you have a monkey in the car?
Yeah, show me your monkey. Right. Nobody do that.
You know?
That is hilarious.
Feed me some grain. Nobody do that.
Or some sugar cubes.
Yeah, nobody do that. What are your sugar cubes at?
Right.
Nobody do that. Preach a sermon like you tell somebody you're a man.
Right.
Give me a word. Nobody do that.
Read your Bible and get a word.
Get a word.
Right.
Lord. I told somebody to go to YouTube the other day. He was like, hey man, tell us. He said, I want to hear something funny. Go to YouTube.
Right.
That's hilarious.
A lot of fun stuff on YouTube.
It is. Scroll your Facebook page. There's a lot that you can laugh at there.
I'm trying to tell you.
Funny.
So do y'all have like conventions and stuff?
Right.
Yeah.
I just got back from the Christian Comedy Association in Nashville.
I didn't know.
I never heard of that.
Thing existed.
Because I am always with you.
That's dope.
Closing her eyes tight and stretching her hands upward, a crowd lifts her up, and she is exalted because her time is due. And this is the testimony she shares, hoping that this may help one of you.
And that was Unafraid by an amazingly gifted spoken word artist. Extraordinaire.
You better snap it up, sir.
The Baby Jumper.
I felt that.
You felt that in your bones?
My Shanana is a
Hey.
comedian, the key to be said.
Yeah.
See, and that's the other thing. You got to give credit if you using something.
Right.
And don't be taking people jokes.
Yes,
That is
Lord.
the carnal sin of comedy.
Oh.
Right.
Don't steal.
Do they like shun you when you walk into a comedy club or something?
You're the worst.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You're the worst. You're like a pedophile.
Oh, God.
Right.
They just
With little
That's
boys.
deep.
yeah.
Yeah. Like babies.
So, what would you say to an aspiring comedian? What would
Leave people alone. Get on stage. Quit asking questions.
Yeah.
Get your behind on stage and tell jokes.
Yeah.
Do it at talent shows. Do it at bridal showers. Do it at baby showers. Do it at reception. Do whatever you can do it. Can't go to open mic. Start an open mic. Go where they playing music. Where they doing poetry. Go somewhere and get on stage and open your mouth. And do that for about 6 months, and then you'll have some better questions. Because people like to ask questions before they do anything.
Right.
Go do it, and then let's have a
ask.
conversation.
Right. I know when I was doing open mic at Kiki's, we had some comedians come up. So I was just like, whoever, got something to say, get on this mic.
Absolutely.
And some people did do it, and that was cool. I thought that was really cool and brave.
And that's important. I mean, you got to get up. I mean, comedy is one of the only art forms that you got to do in front of people live when you're trying to figure it out. Like, you just can't go and get it together and then present it to people. No, you got to do it in front of people all the time.
Wow. So what's going on for you? What's going on in the near future, and how can people get in touch with you?
So you can go to my social media stuff. I'm at Bowtie Comedy on Instagram and Twitter. On Facebook, I'm at Comedian Mike Goodwin. You can also go to my website, comedianmikegoodwin.com. I'm about to go and do a USO tour in Germany, and I'll be there doing 5 dates. Also, it started to kind of do more keynote speaking. So a lot of times,
Wonderful. Okay.
folks have been asking to do, for humor in the workplace,
Right.
laughter and leadership type
Right.
things.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I've been incorporating that component and being more broad in my communication.
Absolutely.
Just stand-up comedy.
Absolutely.
So I'm a communicator, working on becoming a communicator.
Isn't it beautiful how the seed of comedy has
Yes.
grown and sprouted,
yep.
and you have so many different avenues
right.
coming up?
Yep.
Right, and then I've consulted with some other folks that like, hey man, I need to make my keynote funnier. So I'm looking at this stuff,
Yeah.
like, okay, you need to put a joke there. You need to make
Revenue
that
streams.
funny. Yeah, right.
Revenue
Multiple.
streams.
So yeah, man,
Passive income. Yes.
laughter tears down walls,
It does.
especially appropriate humor.
Yeah.
And the other thing about humor or comedy, when you say comedy, somebody already has an image in their mind with what
Right.
they think that is.
Right.
So if I say comedy, somebody's thinking Kevin Hart, somebody's thinking Richard Pryor,
Right.
somebody's thinking a nightclub. So sometimes you got to fight through people's preconceived notion
Right.
of what comedy even is, especially when you talk about comedy in the church.
Right,
Like,
right.
what is that?
Right.
Making fun of Jesus? I'm like, no, it's just
It's
comedy
making
from
fun
a
of us.
Christian perspective.
Yeah.
Yes, because I mean, how many of us have sat up in church and had a good laugh or
Yeah.
two?
Or 3.
Or
Folks-
5.
Church folks are hilarious.
Yes.
Oh God. Yes.
Like the lady wants to stop saying amen during the service.
Oh,
And,
my
like in at points where amen is not appropriate.
Amen.
I was like, why are you saying amen right there?
Not listening.
These kids are dropping out of school. Amen. Wait a minute now.
Right. Let's pay attention.
Right.
Slow your amens down.
Right.
Just pause for a second. Listen.
So when you get back from your tour in Germany, are you going to be doing anything locally or anything like
I
that?
don't have anything currently on the calendar, but it's always
Right.
changing. So
Okay.
Right. So even though you're a comedian, Mike Goodwin, do you still do the local open mic events?
oh yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I still go out and go to in Colombia, our open mic scene is kind of a dark scene.
Very. Yes.
So I'm out there not cursing. I'm
Right.
talking about my kids. And if you get laughter in that environment,
right.
I'm like, okay, I got something.
That's right. Yeah.
So a lot of times I'm not talking to my audience. You made a point about churches. So I do a combination of churches, clubs, and corporate events. So
Okay.
because I'm clean goes everywhere. And
Absolutely.
if clean and
Absolutely.
funny goes everywhere.
Right.
So
Right.
I can work in a number of different environments and don't have to change much of anything.
Right. That is so cool. Well, we have thoroughly
Thoroughly
enjoyed
enjoyed it.
you,
Thank y'all for having
Mr.
me.
Mike Goodwin, comedian extraordinaire.
Extraordinaire.
So if you're ever having any events or anything, just come back and let us know, and we'll
Absolutely.
promote you.
I would do that. I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for having me on.
Absolutely. It's been a
you.
pleasure.
Gabby Bo's daddy.
That's my little baby, my offspring.
Gabby Bo's daddy. I love it.
I used to be Rosalind's husband. Now I'm Gary Bo's.
Well, yeah, Ross's husband. Yeah. I was going to say that too, but then we got on Gabby, so I was like, okay, well.
I want my identity back.
And Sierra said, "What you're not gonna do?
What
is-
you're not gonna do is go through the whole interview and not say what you're not gonna do.
Thank y'all, everybody, for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Share this live viewing of Stop the Silence, and go to our podcast on iTunes and Google Play. Download the podcast. Support if you would like to be a supporter, what's the other
Sponsor.
A sponsor.
Yes, we
Thank
need
you.
Sponsorships.
We need sponsorships.
We
We need these
coins.
monies.
That's right. We need these coins.
Gotta have these coins, honey.
So you can advertise your business as
Yes.
well. I'm always looking at this phone like that's the camera. So you can advertise your
camera's right
business
here.
as well. So people just stay in tune. Freethinkers Radio is coming up next, so don't you turn that dial. We're going to be on TV soon, so I thought I'd say that. Thank you again. Have a good night.
Oh, thank you. Sweet pea.
Live.
I know.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah. It's coming.